Amir Khan, the two-time boxing world champion, could soon get a shot at the undefeated Floyd Mayweather. In this exclusive interview, Khan discussed his upcoming fight, his career, and his hopes of fighting Mayweather. You're from Bolton, England.
Yeah.
And you started at was it in your family, or how did you get into boxing?
I got into boxing because I was very hyperactive when I was a young kid. It was not in the family. No one ever boxed in the family. So I used to always misbehave at home, misbehave in school. I mean, at one time they had to tell my parents to come to school with me to see the way I behaved because I was just so energetic. So one night my dad said to me, look, there's a boxing gym around the corner, let's take you there so you can burn energy. And I was like, yeah, let's go. So I went to the boxing gym. I swear, I still remember the day I walked into the gym because I walked down the steps, I heard the bags being punched. You get that smell of blood and sweat. And I was like, wow, I like this place. And since then, I never looked back. I always went to the gym, trained. After 6 months, you could see my behavior in school changed. I started to behave because boxing teaches you discipline. Keeps you off the streets, keeps you out of trouble. Whereas I burnt all my energy in the boxing gym into something positive. Instead of going on the streets and fighting, I stopped all that. Everything I did was in the boxing gym and in the boxing ring, and I had to listen to my trainer, I had to listen to my father to be the best. And if I didn't listen to them, then I'm not allowed back in the gym. But I loved the gym that much that I had to listen to them.
And what's powerful about you is that you've got this great background as a South Asian, and you're also British. Has that helped you from a branding perspective? Because
definitely.
I can remember when Bob Arum told me that he loved to promote Marvin Hagler because he had such a big following from New England, and all these people would fly for miles to see him. Have you experienced that with the British community or with
the Pakistani community? Definitely. I mean, when I went to Olympic Games, me being a British Pakistani, I represented England. I won a medal for them. They treated me like their own. Being a Pakistani also, they treated me like I was an Englishman. Even when I go to Pakistan now, I was there about 2 months ago, the whole street stops. It's like when Manny Pacquiao goes to Philippines. Right. The whole street stops and I need security with me and everything. And I still say, look, I don't need security. I'm cool. I love my people. I want to be the people's champion. And they like to me, look, you need the security in case, I mean, Pakistan isn't a safe place. It's a third world country, so you might need it. But I mean, I can walk the streets in Pakistan. It's amazing. Everyone knows who Amir Khan is, from the young kids to the grandmothers to the grandfathers. They all know who Amir Khan is, and it's a nice feeling because I'm only doing something I love doing, which is boxing, and it's opened so many doors for me and made me known all around the world. So it's like a nice feeling, yeah.
And you're big on the social media with 1.4 million Twitter followers. And has that helped you kind of track where your following is geographically?
Definitely. It's all about getting your views out there. It's getting people to know you on a personal level. So that's why Twitter, I think, is a great source. I remember the Twitter name Amir King Khan came from, I was at home one day, I spoke to a friend, he said, you should join Twitter, it's a good thing, it's like Facebook. And I said, fine. I go, what do I do? He said, just make a name up. So Amir Khan was already taken.
Right, because of the other Amir Khan.
The actor, yes.
Yeah.
So I had to come up with another name. So I come up with Amir King Khan. And since then it stuck to me. And I only did it as a joke. I mean, the first day I had Twitter, I mean, I got 10,000 within the first 20,000 within the first day. I thought, wow, this is amazing. I got messages from all over the world. And it's a great way of, interacting with your fans, not only in England, not only in Pakistan, but across the world, in America, in everywhere. So whenever you say something, whenever you talk about boxing, I get I get views from everyone around the world. So about the next fight or who I'm fighting next.
I'm really fascinated by the fact that there is this uber famous boxer, Amir Khan, and then the uber famous actor. Yes. How has that affected you, particularly from a social media perspective and your brand?
Like I said, first of all, he took my name on Twitter, so I wasn't allowed to have my name. He took my name, and then I get so many messages, and I'm sure he does also, saying, hey, when's the next film out? The next movie, when's the next movie out? You played such a great role in such a movie. And I'm reading this thinking, what movie have I been in? Then I remember, look, it's not me, it's the Indian actor over there. But I'm sure he knows of me and I know of him, obviously.
But you haven't met him yet?
We've never met, no, we've never met. Somebody was going to put it together in the UK when he was going to come there, but it got cancelled. He didn't come to the UK. his appearance didn't happen. So, but I think in the future we probably will meet and we can have a good laugh.
Maybe you'll do some work together. Maybe
you never know.
Be in a movie.
You know, it's funny you said that because I've already been asked to do Bollywood movies. They've asked me to, you know, do like a appearance in a film, but it's still quite early. I mean, I'm 26. You know, I want to save all that for the late future. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't wait. They do all of that stuff right away. But you think it would be a distraction for you?
Yes, it would. I mean, you know, my whole focus is on boxing at the moment. I need to give that 100%, because if I start doing movies, if I start doing other things like politics or whatever, then I'm going to get no time in my sport. So at the moment, I'm just fully concentrating on boxing, and that's what I'm doing. And you're with Golden Boy Promotions, that's Oscar right. De La Hoya's company. Yep. Have you capitalized as much as you think you could with the corporate endorsements? Yeah, you know, I've done a lot. I mean, you know, been signed up with the big sponsored deals like Reebok. I've done Prada, eyewear. I've done JD Sports in the UK. I've done a lot in the UK, you know, Red Bull and stuff like that. So I have done a few things, yeah. But with the economy now, it's not too good. So I mean, not many sponsored, not many people are getting sponsored deals, or they're not really paying that much. But at the moment, I'm just taking it nice and easy. I mean, my boxing is what brings me my income, and I love doing it. Everything else is a bonus. And you have to keep that strong in order to get the deals anyway. If you start 100%. Losing, then you're not as compelling. 100%. You know, I have to keep on winning. If you want to be the best, and if you want to keep the deals coming in, then you have to keep winning, and that's what brings everything in. I mean, you know, another thing I like to do is charity work. You know, I built a gym in the UK. The reason I built a gym was because how boxing, I'll go back to where I started, you know, boxing took me off the streets, kept me out of trouble, gave me discipline. So I built a boxing gym in the UK, in Bolton, and I get like 500 kids coming there a week. So that's like keeping 500 kids off the streets and stuff. And you just got married. That's right, in fact, I met you at a party where you were celebrating. Yeah. Congratulations to you on that. You told me at the party that you're very serious about your brand. Your people told me, hey, one of the reasons we're not really having alcohol at the party is because Amir does not want that. He does not support that. You abstain from alcohol. You're very active with your Muslim faith. What role does your faith play in boxing? It plays a huge role. I mean, you know, I respect my religion. I'm a Muslim. So yeah, talking about that party, we made sure there was no alcohol there. And, you know, I do my pilgrimage, I go to Mecca. You know, I think it's what gives me success. It mentally makes me strong. My faith helps me to, you know, reach the top and be the best at what I want to do. You know what's really fascinating about it is that you are on the opposite end of the spectrum of a lot of other people that have come along and been champions. Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, these are guys that get out and they have a good time. They light up Vegas. Yeah. You know, how many hundreds of millions of dollars did Tyson spend, you know? Yeah. But have you tried to stay away from that? You know, you learn off the people like Mike Tyson. I mean, I'm such a big fan of Mike Tyson, but you kind of learn off people like that because you see the way, the route they took, which was the wrong route. Now, on the money side of boxing, you know, I know how hard it is to when I train. I mean, you have to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, you have to be on a diet, you go into the ring and take punches. I mean, you take a beating sometimes. But so why would you spend your money like, like it's never ending? So one thing about that is I've left that. I'm very smart investing in the right things. So I know one day my career is going to finish. I have the right investments there, and I'm always going to have an income coming in. It's got to be tough to be young, and to be wealthy, and to be in the business of boxing. Correct. That transition, when you came, was it hard at first? It was hard, yes. I mean, you know, when I come back from the Olympic Games, that's when the checks. I mean, I was getting blank checks thrown at me, turned professional with me by different promoters, by, you know, from all around the world. But I take my time. I mean, I left it to my family. I let my father kind of control everything because he knows the best. I mean, what kind of background does your father have? He was in the motor trade. He had his own garages and stuff like that. So I kind of said to him, look, sell everything up and be by my side all the time. And he now manages everything, overlooks everything more like, you know, I've got a management team, but he overlooks everything to make sure it's the right thing or the wrong, you know, to make sure.
This is a common theme. I just had Guerrero in here,
yeah.
Mayweather.
Right.
A lot of guys have their fathers involved in the business. Would you ever, if it got to the point where you thought he was over his head, could you fire him?
No. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, he'd probably fire me. You know, he'd probably tell me where to go, but...
we're just going to go down if that happens.
Yeah, exactly. Huh? But, I mean, my father keeps my feet on the ground. Yeah, you know, I still have that respect for him. What he says, I do. And it's good to have that relationship. You know, you have to respect him. He's older than me. And, you know, he worked so hard to, you know, give us everything we wanted when we were young, take me to the gym. So maybe if he didn't give me that support in the gym, then maybe I wouldn't be here. So, you know, I have to thank him for that.
Well, and there had to be, in the early days, the business was quite different because it was really, you had to get your name out there. You had to be big. What was that like in the beginning where you were trying to make yourself
Yeah,
a
it was very hard.
name?
I mean, it was very hard. At the start, it was very hard because I was winning world championships in the amateurs. I was winning so many.
What don't people see about the business side at that level?
I mean, people think it's easy. You know, first of all, they think, okay, the money comes in and everything. I mean, they don't see the hard work you have to put in, waking up 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, going for a run. I mean, getting a beating in sparring, training hard. I mean, some days you might not be able to get a bed, but you still have to get a bed and do a training session. People don't see the hard work. They might see the nice cars, they might see the money that comes with it, but it's only because we work so hard. That's why, I mean, when I see a fighter like Floyd Mayweather or whoever enjoying himself and wearing Rolexes and whatever, I mean, I never say anything bad about him because I know he deserves it, because a fighter definitely deserves it. Boxing is the toughest sport in the world. And I can say that because I've done many other sports, and you know, boxing contains a lot of running, a lot of swimming, circuit training, sparring, and you go in there and you're one-on-one with an opponent who's also trained hard. He's in there to beat you up. I mean, it's not, they don't play with you, they don't hit you, they don't tap you. I mean, they go in there to knock you out. You know, so that's why boxing, I think, is the toughest sport. I mean, in any other sport you don't see that, in tennis, or I mean, no disrespect, I mean, they are all hard sports, but in boxing is a sport where they go in there literally to hurt you.
Do you look at someone like an Oscar De La Hoya and get mentorship from them in terms of business? Because even Mayweather, what he's been able to do with pay-per-view and his percentage of ownership of that, do you look at those guys and say, I want to do that one day?
Definitely, you know, and also, already, you know, me and Oscar have started a promotion company in the UK, which is called Golden Boy UK, and we're promoting a few fighters, and I own a percentage of that company. So yeah, you know, I've already started to look into other business stuff, and I look at people like Oscar De La Hoya, how he's done so well outside the boxing, well, in the boxing in a way, but not outside the ring, he's done so well. So you learn off people like that. I mean, that's the route I want to take, is like Oscar De La Hoya, instead of going the, you know, the wrong route and seeing where people go broke and stuff. I want to always be, you know, making money and doing things the right way.
And your last fight was against Julio Díaz. It was a very close fight.
Yeah.
In fact, you were knocked down in the 4th round.
Yeah.
But you still won.
Yep.
You didn't dominate the fight. Does that concern you for your fight against Alexander coming up?
No, I think, I mean, Julio Díaz come to win. I mean, his fight before mine against Sean Porter, you know, he put on a great performance. A lot of people thought he beat the unbeaten fighter, but he didn't get a decision. It was a draw. Against me, I mean, he came in. You could see he had the hunger in him. He wanted to win. I could feel that I was having weight problems. I was killing myself making weight. So the fight was made at 143. Instead of being made at 140 pounds, we made it at 143 pounds. So I made the weight. I think I was totally dehydrated. I mean, I've been through the fight numerous times, and I'm not disrespecting Díaz. Díaz is a great fighter. I mean, you cannot take anything away from him. All those people who said that it was going to be an easy fight, I knew it was going to be a tough fight. Styles make fights, and he had a style that was going to make it hard. Now, it's funny now where nobody's calling Díaz out. They don't want to fight him because he is a risk. He's a big risk to a lot of people. So a lot of people are kind of avoiding Díaz because they know how much of a tough time he gave me.
So he'll be back to try to fight 100%, you again,
yeah.
hopefully.
I mean, so yeah, I love to that fight. That's the reason I'm moving up to 147. So I'll be facing the likes of Alexander and them guys because I'll be much happier making the weight. I'll be making the weight easy. I mean, one thing about the weight people don't understand is if you make the weight wrong by a tiny margin, I mean, that's about winning or losing a fight. I mean, it's about going into a fight weak or going into a fight strong. So I started making the weight quite hard, and I thought, you know what, it's time to move up. And I made that decision now.
Why did that happen? Was it muscle mass or?
Muscle mass. I mean, I'm growing. I'm 26, and I've been at this weight since I was 22. So I thought, it's about time to move up now, and move up to 147.
One thing is clear: you want to fight Mayweather in your future.
Definitely.
Do you think that he's the greatest fighter in boxing right now?
Right now, yes. You're one of
Okay.
the best fighters out there, definitely. And
But you think you can beat him?
Speed. Speed is what gives Mayweather problems. I mean, speed and the styles always make fights. If you look at everyone who fights Floyd, they think the way of beating Floyd Mayweather is by putting pressure on them, put pressure on him and pushing him back. But no, that suits Floyd, because Floyd will make them fall short and catch them with left hooks and catch them coming in. But you have to box Floyd at his own game. And also,
he's very evasive.
He is. Defensively, he's the best, don't get me wrong, but speed always breaks a defense. And I think speed is like the key of beating Floyd Mayweather. I mean, there's no one as fast as me in the world of boxing. So I really believe that I will cause him a lot of problems. But like I said, time will tell. And I love that fight. I mean, Floyd's interested in that fight, but it's just about the right time.
When we have people like Pacquiao and Bernard Hawkins on the show, it's the million-dollar or the multi-million-dollar question is, when do you retire? I mean, at what point does a boxer retire?
I'll retire before boxing retires me. I mean, I've always said that to myself.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, they all said that, yes. And it's funny because Bernard Hopkins is like 49 now and he's still fighting. Manny Pacquiao he's had 2 bad defeats and he's still, But I mean, I'm young. I mean, I'm a family man. I want to spend time with family. And I've got my father looking over me and everything, and they'll tell me when it's time. I mean, at the moment,
You'll listen.
Yeah, definitely. I'll listen. Boxing's a tough sport, and you can hurt yourself. I mean, what's the point taking that one fight that could risk your life?
But at what point is it that you think a boxer
I always
should
said
fight?
to myself, around 28 would be my time.
So it's an age?
retire. Yeah, I said around 28. Yeah.
2 years?
Yeah, in 2 years time. But then it's moved to 29 now. So 29, I said, because the only reason it would have been 28 if Ramadan wasn't right in the middle. I normally fight 3 times a year, but since the last 2 years, because Ramadan has fallen in the middle of the year, I've only been fighting twice a year, so that's kind of...
That's really young, man.
It's still young, no, definitely still young, but you have to remember, I done everything so young in my career. I mean, I started boxing at 8, went to the Olympics at 17, and won a world title at 22. I unified it at 24. So I've done everything so early in my career. So, I've done things at 24, what 30-year-old men do or 35-year-old men do. So, maybe that's why I can retire maybe a little bit early.
Do you feel that you've taken the beating of a 35-year-old man?
No, definitely not, definitely not. But, one thing that I've said to my team also was, maybe I hit 28 or 29 and I might feel in the best condition ever. That's not going to mean I'm going to retire. I'm going to still keep on going. It just depends how my body feels. Like I said, if my body is in great shape and I still feel fit as anything, then I'm going to continue. I might be in my best. I might be at my peak then.
And what's great about you is that your mind is there.
Yeah, definitely. And 100%, I want my mind to be there. I want to, fighters always staying there a bit too long. Their words start slurring and stuff. I never want to be in that position, Never want to take too many shots. And like I said, I've got a great team around me. My family's great. They will tell me if I'm taking too many shots and say, look, Amir, it's time to call it a day. But at the moment, I'm in a great shape. I'm fit, I'm strong, and I'm young.
What do you do after this?
After this, I want to be... I've got a lot of... I've started investing in a lot of real estate. I want to be part in that. I want to have a few businesses on the side. So I want to keep busy, and also in the promotion side.
So boxing will continue to be a big part of your life?
Definitely, especially the promotion side, like the one I have with Oscar in the UK, Golden Boy UK. I still want to kind of build that brand, and also with the gym I have in Bolton, I want to bring the next Amir Khan out of there. Now my brother Harun Khan boxes, so maybe I can start following his, following him, giving him advice, helping him through the professional ranks. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank
we
you.
look forward to your fight as it comes up here. Maybe you're going to be the guy that upsets Mayweather.
Definitely. Thank
Amir,
you very much.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with Amir Khan, I'm Lee Hawkins. We'll see you next time.
Only thing I have to do is continue to surround myself with the right people. And it's all about timing. Everything is about timing. And different relationships and networking with the right people.
Is it important to you to fight Mayweather before you retire?
For me, that's important. It's gonna be part of my boxing record.